is we just kind of sit back and just let it do its thing at this point. So I'm going to turn my mic, and in situations like this, when we start getting closer to the low, when we get to yellow, I'll turn on one more turbine. Let's keep it going. At this point, I am trying to put stuff in spots where we know it's industrial, so that way it takes up industrial zones. Like one of the things that's I think one of the processes that we're going to be doing is slowly getting, I'll set the industrial zone with stuff until we have like enough people to run the industrial zone. think we'll have to end up putting in one more of these things. So I'm going to put it in now. sure you can see the design, but we're just going to go into the one that worked best. One that actually was the one that turned into this. See here, it's like a forced split decision, not split, like a different ideal, which then turned and then got us here. How do we get there? This is how we got there. Okay, so this is a pretty simple design. The road comes in and it goes to the residential area. There is, you see, we have the lining of this industrial complex, and we're using the blue thingies. I don't think they're actually called commercial zone. We're using the commercial zone to separate both the residential and the industrial. Now, a lot of these blank spaces stay blank for a while. Later on, we'll put warehouses in these spots after we actually come and pull all the trees out first. So we'll actually put stuff down and whatnot. And this was, you see, we have this is the water plant. It is directly in line with where we're pulling the water in. It's a straight line. So if we go here, we have a straight line pipe all the way down to where it just wraps to the edge. We go all the way over till we get just past it, and then all the way back, and yeah, we tie it back in. So then electrical, we see we actually are using this and this, like the three of these things really close together as a jumper to jump over the road to put our thing down and go into a straight line. Later we'll extend this road straight down, or no, we won't extend the road. We'll put something here that will extend the power over this road and then over here, and it will be a the garbage plant. And then in here, this little space, or right up in this area, we'll put the recycling plant, which will also move the power. And then we'll also continue our wind turbines down this coastline. So there'll be at least one more in here, which will also extend the power. So the idea behind this was jumping the road, just so we could have a little bit more boxes. And this was getting as many in here as we could, so we can get this double set. So technically 3 is what it is. If you just put it right along the side of the road, like one edge, it would go 3 sets. So this is a full set. This is like what I would call a half set. And this is a full set. So 1, 2, and then 2 halves is 3. And it can propagate all the way through there. So we're going to, like, I can hit play. And what we do here is, as we need more power, we pull these. This one way down here is just a jumper box. That's all this is, jumper. And then way over here, this is actual power. Put all the other power here because we can get better power sources over here. They're all like megawatt 8 or whatever. Now, in this model, you do gain people, lose people, gain people. No matter what, you always gain people, lose people. Um, it just, I don't know, this seems more like the natural way to play, so to speak, I guess. I don't know. Let me show you what that actually turns into, so we'll just load in. No, it says auto. Yeah. Oh, that's for respect. I'm looking for one. And we'll load in where I was at last on this one. So you can, like, I guess, see the difference, see how it's grown, how I move things around. And basically what I was trying to find is a point where I didn't need to grow anymore, I didn't need to do anymore, we could just kind of let it earn some money, get to some point where we could drop in a lot of stuff at once, and, you know, basically find a way to just get to a point where we can just let it do its thing, and then speed run through the rest of the game. Basically build up funds, just build up a bunch of funds in the background. And in this one we have, everything's kind of been adjusted. Taxes, like I never did adjust any of these other ones on the right, which I probably should. Like, to be honest, just raise office to 12, we'll raise this, I'll keep that where it's at, and we'll move this to 7. Put them all 1 under. Okay, 1 under for each. Cool. And it don't matter. We're still getting a good amount of money. So the expenses, though, you'll see these. We took a lot of time to only push policies that really don't cost us anything, or it makes us money in some form. The only one that, like, book fair is one I could get rid of. At the moment, I don't have any libraries or anything, so it doesn't actually cost me, but like a tiny little bit. So but it just works. I don't remember what it does. I just remember going, oh yeah, that ended up being paying out. So Human District 1 is where how we started with this little bit over here. You'll see this little copper squared. It's grown since then, but the ideal is you can get these natural resources, but the ideal really is we inlet into residential, and you pretty much have to go over to the industrial and business side to get out. And just to make things worse, on the way out, you can have another. You can actually go, you know what? I don't want to leave, and just return in. And at any point in time, if you're finding yourself exiting, you can actually just come back down and return to wherever you need to go, whatever. And this seemed to be a huge deal. And then I was watching something about what spiffing Britt. He was watching him, and he did this thing where he put a park in, where he was charging people basically to like exit or walk through the park or whatever. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool, because I did this at the time, where you got the ferry to specifically just go. I didn't even know it was a difference. To just come over here to go to a park. This is a park over here, and then you go back over here. And that's all the ferry is for. So when I got to this point, I was like, oh, I need to exit the band. And then it kind of hit me. There's got to be a way to just make this work. Like, there's got to be a point where we can actually get a balance. And as you can tell, we did eventually find that balance. And this balance is still not fully whatever. We still got stuff still coming in. But looking around, it's almost a 3-to-1. You need about 3 parts residential to 1 part anything else. And for some reason, until you get multiple sources of power, when you're all running off of like just coal or just electric or just water, you need slightly more than what you actually need, and you have to turn one off. You have to turn something off. And for some reason, that makes a huge fucking difference. Like, your production will stay just slightly over everything else, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any actual sense. But you guys saw in the other one, we were doing that, and it was working. Like, I was in yellow, I put in the other one, and it stays now just above yellow all the fucking time. So if you get to a point where you're finding yourself like going in yellow or the red, just put in one more. And then if you find yourself you put in that one more and you're completely maxed out into the green, just turn one off and watch it stay within the green most likely. Now, sometimes you'll get a point where you'll lose stuff. And the idea behind that is turning them on and off controls how much you're wasting per week. So if we go back to expenses, we're spending 17 grand a week to stay afloat, right? And the ideal behind everything is to slowly get to a point where we do less and less and less of that. And I actually spend an obscene amount of money on garbage. If we go through my stuff, so we got a pretty decent amount of electricity. We have an overflow of extra electricity, so we're good. We're pretty decent on the water, although we do have 3 inlets, 2 treatment centers, and that's it. Garbage could be way better. That was something I had to figure out slowly, how this really worked. As you can tell, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And then, let's go back into so here's this industry, forestry. I didn't get very far into, I never got to a spot where we were actually making money off of it. Farming, I think we were earning money off of farming. I could be wrong. I don't know how to find out. Yeah, we're actually making money off of farming. $7. And I lost half my farm. It caught fire. So that should tell you quite a bit. Oh, I didn't know that. Made a little bit of money off of timber. Cool. That's new. But I had got to a point where I was trying to figure out how to do hydropower, and I was doing like trying to do a self-feeding hydropower thing. I don't think I ever saved any of those either, which kind of sucks because they were stupid cool. So then I did this river split, and so here's river split. And the A stands for like attempt A, attempt B, attempt C. So, and 1 is like the type of style of play that I'm doing. So I'm doing the specific style of play, and this just happens to be the first style of play that I'm trying, which is just trying to find some balance. It's something that Spiffing always says is, oh, it's a perfectly balanced game, blah, 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 blah. And then he shows how it's absolutely not balanced at all. And so in this case, I was just wanting to find a balance in the game to allow where the pollution doesn't affect the happiness of the residents, but the residents can get, everything just kind of equalizes. And this one is one that starts to run away from it. You notice I figured out by now, okay, yeah, you do need power going off to the different things, like way over here. I used to just put another one over here, But I had found out the hard way that if your powers or whatever, and there's no power line connecting it to the other power source, whatever, it doesn't always tap into your thing. And I had a spot where I had like a whole bunch over here, and there was nothing tapping in this little spot into anything else. And it wasn't until I really got stuff expanded over there that it started interacting with each other. That one day, then it just boom, I had a load of power. I was just like fighting power, fighting half power, fighting half power, and then boom, ton of power. So we got this basically a two-line method on most things. You can go wherever your furthest outliner is, boom, and then just go down basically the center of your town. So we were planning on growing out this direction and growing out this way. You can kind of see the water design is designed for just basically copying and pasting this right on the side. Just kind of imagine like it flipping up and being flipped onto the other side. So a mirrored duplicate copy. And if you look, there's way too much blue here on the residential side, is what I end up coming across. Not enough, well, kind of like too many big gaps on the industrial side, but not really enough gaps on the industrial side. So you need gaps on the industrial side to help separate the pollution. Basically, when you don't have all the buildings really close to each other or whatever, you can kind of subsidize the pollution. So if you was to do 3 little outsources of industry, and have them like in a ring where they're kind of away from each other. So I'm gonna eventually figure out like a better build solution. Because now that we have the ratios, and then the one that we're gonna go to last, the one we were just at earlier, where we were just letting it go. That was the one where I tried a full separated unit, and it actually worked. Like I was always doing these together unit things. So let me load in what this one ended up turning into. River split auto. Got to a point where it was just running on auto. I just let it down. I went and smoked a cigarette, came back, saved it, and that's what we're about to come into. So you can see what I'm talking about. I have 3 over here, 5 over here, and it wasn't working out until we got this little crossover here on this road. Once we got this crossover here on this road, it started working, and just started doing its thing. And then also by then I got the ones in the water, and so you can see we were building this industry area over here. And by this time, like I put in this power thing over here by the farmland, and I ended up not needing it. But I pretty much just was like, okay, I think I got the recipe. And when you look at the recipe, so yeah, I don't know how to explain that. So we're keeping the pollution pretty much down to, specific areas, things that you would expect. Water. So, electric, water, then garbage. It's 1. So, not very good. Industrial. I don't think I got actually anything set up. 1. We have fire safety stuff. One of these little changes here. Some schooling. No transport yet. And I didn't do any parks yet on this one, so this one's parkless. And overall, global mobile happiness is pretty good. You see people are just still pouring in. No, leaving. We got people leaving. Oh, that's fine. Because we're still profiting. And no unique buildings. And, so I got the farmland, I got this park. And, this is when I pretty much figured out the recipe. So I was like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. And I did this one. So here's Bayside Bay. I'm gonna load it up before I did anything. This was Bayside Bay just working on its own. This was in auto mode, I believe. And I was like, well, I want to try, how can I do, what about, you know, those were the things going and questions being asked. There is no exit. This is the model that was just plainly working. That's when I found out pollution falls, things like that. But let's look at it. We have electrical. We have literally 2 cables going down. Fully plumbed up rope. We got 1 inlet and 1 treatment center. We got 1 garbage center. Not doing a very good job either. We got 1 healthcare. We got 1 fire safety building. I don't think we have a firehouse. I don't know. It's either a firehouse or the fire safety building. Nothing for this. Nothing for this. Nothing for this. But you'll notice it just works. So then I was like, okay. I had an idea. And so this is the post action. Yep. So this is what happened after the fact. So my ideal here was, okay, so spiffing britt did that park exit thing. And so I was gonna do a park exit well as well. You notice it's slightly larger, stuff has grown, a lot more power. So full blast on power, full blast on water. We're at 2 water treatment centers, but also 2 water pools. Garbage is actually doing decent. You can tell I figured it out a little bit more of what to do. The industrial area, I'm not even sure if I actually tapped into any of that yet. But I was getting ready to. And that's where I messed up here is the industrial side is where I messed up on this one. So health, we have an Itian one. Oh yeah, we already did all that. Education, we got 1. But you'll notice these double square designs or whatever really made a huge difference. Nothing yet. But we do got parks, like little parks, plus the technical park down here we're gonna go look at. Now, oh wait, hold on, let me show you this. So here's the zonings. And in here we use the natural slope to create that gap in the industrial zones. So this is where I kind of got the idea. Me trying to put in 2 parks in the same area made me realize I just have to have their main entrances and different things, which told me I get the industrial zone thing wrong all this time and the park thing wrong all this time. So here's the exit park, and you can come to here from the top road. From this road down here, you come in here, but then you have to leave. Okay? So to get to a point where you actually want and are able to exit, you have to go through this park here. Okay. Let me show you again. All roads lead out. These are all one-way roads right here. So they'll lead out. Exits right here. This is the only spot that allows you to exit, and right here is the only spot that allows you to exit. And it leads to this park, which is a completely different park, which, you know, we're doing the thing so you can, if you decide, oh no, I want to go back into town, you can go back into town. And so that was my difference here, was split park design like Spiffing did, but every time you split it into different subsections, whatever, you return that back to the town, so that way you can actually get people and have services and stuff. But this still was pretty much a fail, as you get to a point where services just can't get in there physically, because they can't go through these like little things like down here. But yeah, you have to go through that part, and it just goes all the way over, from all the way over there, all the way over here. And there's an entrance exit here, which will allow you to go back into town. And then an entrance exit over here. Same thing, allows you to get back into town. And there's another entrance here to exit, and an entrance over here to exit. There's also an entrance over here to exit. Actually, I forgot about this entrance over here. So, okay, you can go through this entrance and get into this mad loop house. Which these roads right down here, you can go back and forth if you want. You'll notice a lot of these are abandoned and stuff because you can't really get people there. You can't get services there. There's lots of things to do, so it still failed. But the thing I did notice is the loss of people or whatever goes way slower. Like you still lose people. Like I wish I had a little thing that would show my rate of loss and gain of human traffic or whatever over time, or human population over time, because it's kind of odd. Like there's one point where I almost lost all of my people. I didn't have anywhere to leave. There's no exit point, you know. So, that made me think exit park is still a pretty cool ideal, but a really bad execution. Alright, so we're gonna go to Bayside Bay 1B. Alright, so we were in 1A, let's go to 1B. See the disconnection there? Huge difference. Come into residential, you just pull in, do your thing, and then go into industrial. And we notice we got big roads around industrial, smaller roads inside. Now, I did not use any one-way traffic flows on this one, which I should have, which we'll figure out that reasoning why later. Again, did split power down. But, okay. So let's just, okay, so from that point on, this one just worked. So we'll go to where I left it. So this is where I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm pretty happy with this. All right, so we got almost 100 grand. 6,500 people's max number. Like, I haven't made 6,500, so I guess technical 4,200 is my known max so far. I got all the I got, I don't know, yeah, the stuff. I don't know. But you'll see, like I said, it is 3 times residential to the amount of industrial that you have. And then no matter what you do, you take that total, you round up about 10 to 15% of, let's go 10 to 25, well, yeah, 15 to 25% of the commercial, breaking up everything. In industrial, you need blank slates, and residential. Now this up here area with the fish market and stuff. I was gonna, like, whenever I get it, I'm gonna change into the high density stuff, so the office spaces and the high towers. And so the last design we have, we can just basically replace all of it with, well, we can't replace all of it, but we can replace half of it with high density. And the ideal there is to either separate the two, or you have low density inside of, in the middle, and then high density on the outside. And you can see there's a lot of problems here, but the system works. Whether I like it or not, the system works. People are genuinely happy. Electricity is pretty rock solid. The plumbing is a mess, I'll admit it. But we actually have a tower this time, and we only have 3 cleaning facilities and 3 inlets, but 1 inlet is not being used, and we do have some kind of storage thing. Cool. So here's garbage. It's, no, my bad, fishing. I'm on the wrong tab. Here's garbage, and it's still not that great, but it is working-ish. When last time I was left, I was actually moving stuff out of one landfill to another landfill. So yeah, you can see I figured out how to do the industrial complex a little bit better. Still thinking a little bit too inside the box, but was actually getting stuff to be produced and was actually making money. So we'll show you that soon. Fishing, post, warehouses, I don't have any at the moment. Oh no, traffic. Shows traffic. Health, fire, crime, education, no public transport setup, tons of freaking parks. That was the downfall of this setup, is you end up needing to disperse parks, and that's when I figured out I could use parks to help break up the industrial zone. Gosh, a lot of empty space here. Oh, we just had a lot of people leaving too. Okay, that might be why. And no unique buildings yet. So my budget definitely could be better. Taxes, not too bad. Never had a loan. That's the other thing. I'm doing all these without getting loans. You know, so. So here, forest is making profit. Oil is making profit. Nice. don't even think I have a cemetery yet. There it is. So this one's running in a loss, but not by much. We're starting to almost even out. This one, we've actually made money off this one. You see this one is, at the moment, going at a loss. God, I haven't started it yet. Haven't started the farm yet. So. But yeah, so. I was like, okay, now keep in mind, I just been leaving this one alone. This one was running for quite some time without anyone at the helm. And it kind of shows too, I think. Show how many population. Alright. So now. Then I was like, alright, tester 1. So this is tester 1. This is the test of tests. Like, I thought I have. I was like, okay, I think I got it. So here we go. It's about 3 to 1. One power line straight coming down, and one outlier connector. Like, I knew eventually this building over here, that this one would get power eventually. And when that happened, everything would just work. So, I wasn't really caring about a whole lot. And you'll notice, at the moment we don't have any one-way roads here, but, oh, I thought this one was. Let me see. Oh, no, they are. Okay. Yeah, they are. These ones are one-way roads. These ones are not, and they should have been one-way roads over here in the industrial side. And it just set up in reverse to this, where you go. So it's this way, and then it'd be the same way as this one, and then the outside would be the same as this outside. Yeah. So this was it. And I always do this where I get stuff set up and then I save it and then I do it. So let's go look at what we did. So we have no this district and this district. We have the Stone Center, the Tree Rings, the Knot District, the Exit City Park, the Lake, the Woods, Farm, Wood, and Oil. So one of the things that we did here is Knot District has like pet ban and smoking ban because it's in an area where it's like natural resource, blah blah blah. No district is just set up to the town district or town policies, nothing special. This district has a smoking ban because it's working area, but besides that, nothing different than the city setup. And so let's just turn this on so you can see what's going on. So we can see the population, households, everything looks pretty good. The city looks kind of ugly though, but everything kind of works. So this does show the ideal of expansion to make, like, to be able to access these little things in here, to be able to get over here, so we can actually, in the Stone Center, the current one, this goes out just a little bit to this road, so this road can access it instead of only this corner. While the Tree Rings has a lot more right-of space and has this road over here to access it. And over here we have this road to access the oil, which we can always extend down and get more over here if we need to. And we have this corner over here to access the trees.
bring in a road out over here. We'll bring a road out and access the trees. So we have one water pump off, and we have one electrical out. So 2, 5. So we've got 6 in total, with one not running, and it just seems to work. When I had the one not there, I was constantly going into the yellow and red, put it there and turn it off, no problem. I also have more people now this time, now than when I was first having that problem. But the expansion we know is going to be a lot more. I was trying to get to the point where I could put the ones in the water, so hydropower basically, without being in the dam. So these ones right here, I was hoping to get out there. See if we produce a lot more power. Now I have done like a dam where we were just pumping water into a spot, a little well, and then dumping that out. So we were coming. Well, I was going further down, but basically we were dumping water over into an area where it's kind of low and there's a high area around it, so we made like a well, and then we put in a dam, and we were just pushing the water out. And where I did it, it's further down. It's down here. So the way I did it is I had one here and I had one here, and the water was pushing. Like I put one down here and it was pushing the water into this little area and it welled up. And so then I had another one that was pushing the water back out. And so then it would then slowly feed back in and it was getting like a good loop. And neither of them would run constantly, but at least one was always running, and we were getting something like 30 megawatt power at all times. And so I was like, well, that was pretty decent. If I could have got both of them at the same time, it would have been scrapped. But I would have actually like, this is pretty much almost still water. Later on, I found out there's a thing for that. There's an actual type of like thingy that you can actually put in, and it's designed for just like the subtle wave movement to build power. So then so the water was done like really well this time. Paid attention to what I was doing, least amount of lines possible. So garbage, we finally figured it out. We'll check out industrial later. Health, fire, crime, education, parks, and I had not actually put in the city exit park yet. I had not actually done that. And no special buildings. If we come in here, we can see most things are just kind of left alone. Whatever, everything is dropped down a little bit almost. Taxes. No loans so far, so. I thought this was doing pretty good, you know. Every so often you go through and like delete burned buildings, but you know, yeah. I've been losing people, a few here and there. You never see anybody leave, but you still lose people, so it's like deaths and such. So eventually we'll have to get, you know, cemetery and all that. But that's kind of the goal, is this setup. So let's go back to the one we were doing earlier, the live version test. I'm just about done showing you guys what's up. So this is the live test one we started earlier. You guys saw me do this. And yeah, that's it. let this thing do its thing. Is that a fire? I think that's a fire. Yep. I was just about to go turn it on and it started self-correcting. Yeah, it's because we have a little bit of people loss. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it back on. We shouldn't have put us in the red. So that was the whole idea behind this, is just basically getting it set up to where it just makes money. And you'd let this go for like a long time, come back, and just like delete everything and then have funds to like start a fun build or something. And this setup is pretty basic. You could copy pasta this setup. Like I could do this exact same 4 block by 4 block 1600 square, or do this same like little 3 by 3 block down below it, which is not even quite 3 by 3. Which one has one more entire panel than the other. And we can put it over here to use for these industrials, and we can put them over here to build out basically this entire thing. So we have more of both, which then we can build another one out to get to these woods and farm, and allow you to dominate. Like have a lot of fun too. But I would have never got to here if I didn't watch the Spiffing Britt video about doing the split park, where you had to get to the industrial side, which was also to get to the exit. You had to go through like a park, and you had to go through like 5 or 6 entrances to actually get across. And that video made me try try the one that got us to where we're at now. Let me try one thing to go do something, and where before I was always being access to the exit, now it's like, oh, why in the hell even bother having an exit at all? You know? Maybe if we get big enough, we can attach other things. Let me see if I can pull in that other one. And let's load in this one. Yep. Yeah, right here. We were doing the damn thing over here. And so here it goes. It's just doing its thing. Now this isn't the optimal output version, but this is how I used to do it. And you can see people exiting. But I also have a toll road to exit. Huh? Aye. And so eventually we're going to get to a point where we'll allow toll entrance exit or park exit. Like you won't be allowed both. One or the other, brosive. So that's, I guess, the goal. I'm gonna go ahead and load up the other one, the live test that we were doing, and I'm just gonna let it do its thing for a while. I'm baking a turkey. We're preparing for food day, so I'm just gonna let this make some money, and I don't know. I guess just leave a comment or whatever what you think. If you think it's dumb or anything, or you know, whatever it